Morning students. So today I'll discuss about merging of two sorted arrays. In the previous video I discussed about uh, tuple sort methods, right? So today it will be about uh, how we can combine two arrays, that is sorted arrays, to form a third array that is also a sorted array. Okay? So merging is the process of combining two or more sorted array into a third sorted array. Otherwise, in arrays, two or more arrays are sorted into a third array. So let's go directly to the diagrams. Okay. So here you can see that in here there are two arrays. The first array is called rank 1, the second array is called rank 2. So here in this array, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 data values or 7 array elements, right? And in here you have 4 array elements. So each array elements are storing the data here. Now you can see that the data are sorted in ascending orders. So starting from here, this is the minimum and this is the maximum. Similarly here, this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. Now what happened in merging of sorted arrays is here these two arrays are sorted. So when we can combine these two arrays, and then we can form a third array based on these two data. So when this merging is done, okay, the minimum value from this array is compared with the minimum value in this array. Whichever one is minimum, okay, will be assigned to the first position, that is the zero index. Similarly, okay, the next minimum value will be compared with the next minimum value, okay, and whichever one is less, okay, will be assigned to the next array element. Clear? So here, suppose here these two are compared. So 10 is the minimum value, so 10 will be assigned to the uh, first array element. Then 20 will be assigned to the second array element. Okay, then after that, from here another value will be compared with another value in here. So whichever one is minimum will be assigned in the third array element. So you can see that based on this, okay, the third array element, the third array is created, that is rank 3. So the as you can see that here the data is much more. So all the datas are entered. So what happened is that, okay, the length of the array is based on the number of the length of this array plus length of this array. So here you have 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Here you have 7 array, the length of the array is 7, and here the length of this array is 4. So 7 plus 4, it will be 11. All right, so based on this data, let's go and check this program. So in this program, to perform the merge sort operation by using two sorted arrays, okay, so like I said, we'll take this example, okay, these data values, and then based on that, okay, I'll explain this program. So at the starting, always you have the header file and then the main function, okay. So here there is only one function to be executed, that is the main function. So all the source code is written inside the main function. So here you can see that since for merging of two sorted arrays, if another array is needed, so that's why three arrays are declared, that is rank 1, rank 2 and rank 3. The size is given as 100, 100, 100, but it is not necessary that we should use up all of these sizes, right? So you can see that the array names are unique. One is rank 1, rank 2 and rank 3, right? Now based on that, again, these variables are declared. So m, n, I, j, k, t. Now m and n are in capital letter, uppercase. So keep in mind that if you are using uppercase letter in the program itself, also it should be in uppercase. So what is m and what is n, what is I, j, k and what is t? That we shall see as the program unfolds. Okay, so here that is clear screen. Okay, so clears the buffering boot. So here cout, enter your first array length. So what is the first step? Always in the program, you declare the variables. So when the variables are declared, the compiler allocates memory space for those variables, right? So based on the data type, here integer, right? Now, after you declare the variable, what is the next step? Now, this program, what do we want to do with this program? We want two sorted array data, right? We want two sorted array data to be entered and then to form a third array, a sorted array, right? So based on that, what you have to do, you have to enter the data in the two arrays, right? So in the first case, cout, enter your first array length. So the length of the array is still not determined, right? Here it is mentioned here 100, but it is not necessary that we should enter all, we should create 100 array elements, right? So that is based on this program question. So c in m, so the length of this array will be entered. So if suppose you enter here 6, that means for this first array rank 1, it will create 6 array elements. 6 array elements will store 6 data values. So similarly, enter your second array element, so n, so it will store the values of this. Now after that, you can see enter sorted element of rank 1. Now why is it not written here enter your third array length? Because the third array length, okay, you do not need to mention the length of the third array. Why? Because it is based on the length of the first array and the length of the second array. The combined summation of these two will form the third array. Okay, so that will be done at the last. So we do not need to enter the length for this third array because it will be based on m plus n. So here enter sorted elements of rank 1. Now after the length is declared, we know how many array elements to be created, okay, to be declared, and how many data values to be entered. So now there is a fixed length and there is a means like we know that the loop will not be infinite, so the loop should be stopped at a certain point. So for that, here enter sorted elements of rank 1, okay, for I will start from 0 because the array index starts with 0, and then I is less than m. Now there is a test condition, so now the for loop becomes finite. 0 is less than m is suppose 6, right? So the loop will continue 6 times. So iteration, and then here rank I, that is rank 0, rank 1 0. So the first data value will be entered. Suppose the first data value that is entered in rank 1 0 is, suppose, let's say yes, as per the program it is 21, right? Suppose here it is suppose like 20, okay. So in rank 1 0, okay, I represents the index, right? So rank 1 0, 20 will be stored. Rank 1 1, 30 will be stored. Rank 1 2, 40 will be stored. Similarly, rank 2 j, okay, 10 will be stored, like that. So after all the data values are entered, okay, to enter in the second array element, okay, enter sorted elements for rank 2. So here you can see that for the j equal to 0, j is less than n. Similar, okay, only thing is that you can see that the counter variable has changed from I to j, because here you are using the counter variable I for this particular array. Now for this particular array, you need to use the counter variable j, because you cannot use I here again. Why? Because I is storing the value of the first array element of the first array. So all the array elements that are declared or created and stored the value are based on this variable I, counter variable I. So if you use I here again, it will overwrite all the data, right? And that will result in data mismatch and error. Okay, so that's why for the second array, another counter variable is used. So here, when you enter the data from the keyboard, okay, so suppose like 4 5 6 7, like that, right? So rank to j, that means rank to 0, okay, and then after iteration, test the condition again, rank to 1, rank to 2, rank to till rank to 5. 5 is less than 6, like that. Okay, so suppose if you enter the value of n as suppose 6, okay, like that, or if you enter the value of n as 4, so this test condition will be evaluated 4 times till 3 is less than 4. So now here after that, okay, here assign to start from 0th position in array. So I, j, k are both, all of them are initialized to the value 0. Now why is the need for this initialization? Now you once you type this program, okay, you just remove this I, j, k equal to 0, okay, remove this from the program and try running this program. You will see that you will not get the correct output. Okay, why is it? Because here I, once you have entered the data, the data is stored in that particular memory location, right? Now in this, again in this while loop, you are going to use the counter variables I, j and k, right? So now that memory space needs to be, the counter variables needs to be reinitialized from the start. Now why is it again initialized to the value 0? Because once the data gets entered, right, the comparison between the two arrays needs to start from the 0th position, that is from the first position. Okay, so that is from the first position. So that's why here I, j and k are all initialized to 0. I and j are your two arrays and k is the third array. So whichever position is being compared, that position needs to be filled up sequentially, right? And you know that in the array the data are stored sequentially and in sequential memory locations. So here while I is less than n and j is less than n, so here you see that we use a logical operator, right? Now why is the need for this logical operator while I is less than n? Because here you are going to compare between the first array and the second array. So when you're going to compare between the first array and the second array, okay, that's why you use these logical operators. It should be that when I is 0 is less than 6 and 0 is less than suppose like 4, right? So both should be, test should be true. Only if it is true, then this, the body of this while loop will be executed. If not, then this else, this body will be executed. So that is suppose like in I is 0, right? So this if range 1I, suppose in range 1I the value 21 is stored, is less than range 2j, and in range 2j suppose 10 is stored, right? So if 21 is less than 10, no, right? So this compound statement will not be executed. It will go to the else part, and then range 3k equal to range 2j, which is range 3 0. So the first array element of the third array, okay, equals to range 2j, that is range 2 0. So what value is stored in range 2 index 0? That is the value 10. So 10 will be assigned to range 3, the third array, range 3 first index or the first array element, okay, that is 0. So that will be stored in the first position. So after that we have the iteration, k gets incremented and j gets incremented by 1. Now here you will notice that, okay, in the if, okay, if range this test condition is there, okay, after that here range 3 equals to range 1I, here it is I and here it is j, right? And here I gets incremented and j gets incremented. Why is it not that it should be here I, it should be here I? Now try changing this to, from here it is I, and you try changing here to the variable I, and here also I, you will get error. Okay, why? Is because see, this is comparison is the range I or the range j. I'll just say it like range I and j. Okay, so this is the first array and this is the second array. The value of the first array is compared with the value of the second array, right? So based on that, if only this is true, right, if only this is true, that is the left side is true, if the value of range I, suppose the value of range I is 10 and the value of range 2 is 20, 10 is less than 20, right? So since this condition is true, this will be executed. So what value needs to be transferred? If this is true, then obviously the value that is stored in range 1i, that is 10, is the minimum value. 10 is less than 20, right? So that is the minimum value. So that minimum value must be transferred to the third array, because the third array should also be in sorted format, that is from the ascending to the descending. Okay, and suppose this is 20 and this is 10, so which is not true, then this will not be executed, right? So in that case, it will come to the else part, that is range 3 0 equals to range 2 0. That is, what is range 2? Suppose 10. So 10 will be the minimum value that will be assigned to the third array. You got it? So that's why here we have I and we have j here. Okay, so this process will keep on continuing, okay, till all the data comparison between the two arrays get sorted out. So this while loop is just for the sorting out of this as from ascending to descending between the two arrays. Okay, now in here, okay, you can see that it is similar. Now keep in mind that this is an error. Okay, it should not be less than equal to. Okay, so remove this one. Okay, so while I less than m and while j less than n. So here you can see that the while loop, two while loops are used here. The here this is for the first array, and here this is for the second array. So the compound statements are same in here and here also. So what is the use of these two while loop? So here in this while test condition, what happened is that, okay, the sorting between the two arrays is done, which one is the minimum, which one is the maximum, like that, right? But in here what happening is that uh, for the third array, okay, after the sorting is done, you are arranging or placing the data in actual order, so based on the first array and on the second array. Okay, so after that only you can see that C out, the result output is, okay, t equals to m plus n. So like I said, t stands for let's say the third area, okay, which is m plus n. That is, if m the size is 6 and n the size is 4, 6 plus 4 10. So the third array will be of the size 10. Okay, the length of the third array will be 10. So based on that, you can see that you use the for loop. Okay, k equal to 0, k is less than 0 is less than 10, right? Suppose, okay, so it will start displaying all the values that are stored in the third array. Okay, so that way you will be getting this output. Okay, so type this program, try do the dry run method also on that. Okay, and then try manipulating program. Like I said, okay, you try you change this, okay, remove that equal to symbol, and then you just remove this one, and then or maybe you just omit this part, okay, and then you will see that, or you just change this to I, and then you see the difference. You'll be getting garbage values, or you'll be getting the wrong outputs. Okay, so that will be all for today.